Let's get started. Now, Liju echoed this earlier on, and one of the things he said was that people don't see Nexarise through their eyes. In fact, people see Nexarise through your eyes. You see, how do you see Nexarise? You know, some of you may really just have some doubts, or you might be wondering to yourself, well, is this going to really work? Well, look, let me tell you something. Until something has been proven, a lot of the time, there's always going to be doubt. And unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of track record as a company behind us for someone to boast about, other than the co-founder's experience. Now, I know, look, listen, let me tell you one thing that is gold. If you took nothing away from today's training, here's one thing that you could take away. That the co-founders of Nexarise combined have over 20 years plus experience in this industry. Now, that in itself is huge. Do you know how many companies out there that the founders have no idea how to communicate with people in the field? They cannot resonate with you. Listen, we know what we can resonate with you with is that we know what it's like to acquire customers. We know the challenges and the objections and, you know, the challenges that it takes to build a team, the challenges of becoming successful, then momentum dropping, then building it back up. We know all of this. And I think it's evident to say you can see this just through our trainings alone. Now, that in itself, if you took nothing away, that is what makes Nexarise unique. And listen, that is what's going to continue making Nexarise unique. We know what it's like to be there in the woods. We know what it's like to be broke and have nothing and then make it and then people quit and then build and then do it. We know all the challenges and the adversities that comes with this type of a business. So here's one thing that you can really just be proud of is this. We relate with you. We know what it's like. Believe me, we know the challenges you're going to face. Hence why we can prepare you for everything which is to come. So as Liju mentioned, how do you see Nexarise? Now, going back to what I was saying, I want you to go back in time and let me tell you exactly what Nexarise is like right now. We're a concept that really still hasn't been proven. Yes, congratulations, we have some TC 5000s and 3000s and ETL 1000s and so on and so forth. But other than that, we don't have 5 or 10 years of track record other than the co-founders' experience under our belt. And even our leaders as well. So most of our leaders have more than 5+ years of experience in this industry. So that in itself speaks volume, because you can't attract people that have been in this industry for a long time, you know, with a mediocre or, you know, callous business, so to say. Now, I want you to go back in time and take a look at companies like Tesla. You see, when Tesla first started, you can imagine, okay, when Tesla first started, electric cars at that time, they wasn't really that famous, or people really didn't know much about it. Yes, there was Toyota Priuses as a substitute and so on, but it really, but they were hybrid models. Now, Tesla introduced full-on electronic cars. Now, let me tell you something. Even though the concept wasn't proven, Elon Musk did not get on stage and say, hey guys, I think this is gonna work. I have a bit of doubt. Maybe we might make it. Maybe we just might become successful. No, here's what Elon Musk said on stage. He said, this is the future. There was not one ounce of doubt in his body or in his soul when he said it during the initial press conferences. And this is what brought the media to say, man, this man is so convinced of where these electric vehicles are going to be. And he painted a vision. And he said, this is where it's going to go. This is what it's going to be like. This is what we're going to accomplish. This is where we're going to grow to. This is the markets that we're going to operate in. And one day, we're going to bring out cars that do X, Y, and Z. Everyone rallied around that vision. You see, ladies and gents, the time when electric cars were coming into market, they weren't proven. But the leader's philosophy and vision had all the proof that people needed. That's how you have to be in Nexarise. Even though we don't have a 10-year track record as a company, your vision is all the proof that one should need. So people don't see Nexarise through their eyes. They see Nexarise through your eyes. So you have to ask yourself, in this climate that we're in, this whole pandemic that's going on, listen, it's either you're a victim of your circumstances or you can be a master of your circumstances. You cannot be both. I've seen people that said, I swear, and it hurts me to see this. I've seen people that say, you know what, we're in lockdown. I don't need to worry about my diet. We're in lockdown. I don't really need to worry about money right now. Let me just get the furlough that I'm getting, and I'll figure this out when everyone gets their vaccine and the world opens up again. Do you know how average and mediocre and basic that mindset is? It really is a shame, to say the least. So listen, are you just maintaining right now and saying, hey, let me just maintain what I have? I cannot exercise because the gyms are not open. So let me just maintain my physique rather than advancing it. Hey, listen, I cannot advance my business because most people don't have time for Zoom and they're busy with the kids and stuff. So let me just try and maintain and motivate my team to see if I can just maintain what I have. No, listen, now more than ever is the time to advance. More than ever, I swear there's never ever been a better time, ladies and gents, to learn a new language, to learn a new skill, to read a new book, to watch new videos, to watch content that can inspire you, to start an online business, to grow your Nexarise business, to take your life to that next level, to improve your physique, spend time with your children, spend time with your loved ones, catch up on things that you couldn't do before, get new passions. There has never, ever, ever been a better time to do this. Here's the reason why. Do you know that in isolation is when the greatest leveling up takes place? I've seen people, and I hate to use this vivid example, but I've seen people that have gone to prison, and prison was the best thing that could have happened to them. They realized in isolation and time away from the world, they realized that this is not where they're meant to be. That's when they realized. I've seen you, when you take a look at people like, all these wealthiest people on the planet, they take reading weeks where they go off to a place away from their families so they can be in isolation, so they can read new content, read new material, so they can advance and level up their life. Listen to me carefully. Now more than ever, there's never, ever been a better time to do this. And in fact, I want to show you something. Some of you will look at the screen and you're wondering, what is this that I'm seeing? Now, look, if this is your first time that you're seeing this, I think you're going to have that wow factor. Now, some of you may see a duck. So if you look to my left-hand side, you're going to see a duck's mouth. But if you look to my right, you're going to see the head of a rabbit. Now, look, before I pointed this out, I know for a fact some of you just saw one or the other, but you didn't see both. That is exactly what a paradigm shift means. So here's my point. When you change the way that you look at things, the things you look at will change. So when you change the way that you see Nexarise, and you see it more than just a part-time hustle on the side and a part-time thing to say, hey, listen, I don't treat anything like my part-time business. Here's the reason why. I believed when I first got involved in this industry that my part-time income, my part-time career, my part-time business was going to free me from my full-time job. When I started to see it different, I started leveling up. I started taking this serious. I wasn't just building my business when my uplines motivated me. No, I was building my business when no one was looking. Listen to me carefully. Remember, athletes and boxers and, football players and so on, their manager doesn't live with them. It's what they do off the pitch that makes them great on the pitch. Remember that. So you cannot have an employee mindset. And I used to work in Marks and Spencer's as a manager, so I know this. Believe me, here's what a lot of employees used to do. You give them a task, they complete it, they come back to you and say, what else should I do? And here's when we knew who to promote. When they finish what to do, they get creative and they start doing something else because they read your mind before you even say it, they're already doing it. They already know what needs to be done, so they're already doing it. Everyone else that was average will come to you and say, hey, Ahmed, I just finished what I was doing. I just finished the fruits. What else would you like me to do? That's the difference between average and people that are going somewhere. You see, you don't have to be told. You need to have and adopt the mindset of a business owner, as someone that currently owns a business and someone who's going to be taking their business to that next level. So you have to change the way you look at Nexarise. When you take a look at, honestly, the compensation plan that we put together, I honestly say it until now, there is not another compensation plan out there that is as so simple, as streamlined, and understandable in the world of network marketing. It really, really is. I remember in my previous business, we had to build 6 different legs and help other people. And our success was dependent solely on other people's ranks. And in Nexarise, that's not the case. In Nexarise is dependent purely on volume, on pure customer acquisition. And just take a look at our compensation plan and, the way that it just really just molds together. It's just phenomenal, to say the least. And here's the way I would love every single one of you to start training on the compensation plan. It's very, very simple. The first thing you do is become customer qualified. How do you do this? You need 100 in personal business volume. As soon as you have your 100 in personal business volume, you are now a customer qualified IBO. Congratulations. Here's what we now have to do. What we now need to do is write a list, get your people in front of the information, and help those 3 people do the exact same thing. If we help those 3 people do the exact same thing, here's what will now happen. You would now have 400 in personal business volume, which is the requirement is only 350. You now have 400. Congratulations, you're ETT 100. You're now making £100 a month in residual income. Ladies and gents, listen, I've seen people in Nexarise that were in multi-level marketing for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Until now, they've not even made pennies in network marketing, and now they're in Nexarise, and now they're making £100 a month in residual income. You know how motivated they are? You know how encouraged they are? You know how much they're starting to believe in the Nexarise opportunity and in the world of network marketing? So that is the value of what we have today. ET 100, help 3 people get 100 volume. As soon as you do this, congratulations, you are now ET 100. Now let's go to the next level. How do we do that? Let's help those 3 people do the exact same thing. If those 3 people get 3 people that also get 100 volume, then congratulations. Guess what happens? You now become an ETT 250. Now remember, you introduced 3 people and every single person combined with your volume had 400 volume. Well, what if every ETT 100 did 400, 400, 400 volume? Exactly what you did, nothing different. You helped 3 people do that. Congratulations to ETT 250. You're now making 250 a month in residual income. Now, here's one thing. Listen, how you want to get your personal volume is completely down to you. You need £120 in personal volume. In this position. It's completely down to you. Now, remember, Nexarise doesn't require you to become a customer. You don't need to become your own customer. That's up to you if you decide to do so. But you now just pay a monthly business support fee of £20.40 a month, which is actually £17 a month, but VAT is £20.40 a month. And now you can have your Nexarise business. And that's it. They do the maintenance of your website, the platforms, they do the shipping, they do fulfillments, they deal with customer care, they deal with IBO support, they deal with all of that. But now you're in a position where you're making £250 a month in residual income. Now, this is the next goal. The next goal is for you to become ETL 500. How do you become ETL 500? Well, help 2 people out of those 3, anyone in those 2 teams, help them become ETT 250. Now, that other organization, they can remain as ETT 100, no problem. Because here's what will happen. Remember, the red means the amount of volume you can count per leg, because we have a qualifying GBV as well. We have a qualifying GBV. So what that means, you can take a maximum of 1,000 per leg. So here's what that means. So on leg 1, you can take 1,000. On leg 2, you can take 1,000. Now, leg 3 has a 400 volume, because remember what I said. They're ETT 100 because they introduced 3 people that had 100 volume, and they have 100 volume. So that's 400 in total. Now, so you can take 400 from that leg, but don't forget, you also have 150 in personal volume because you're ETL 500. And because you have that 150 in volume, your total qualifying group business volume is 2,550, and the requirement is only 2,500. Now that you've done this, congratulations, you're at ETL 500. Now, ladies and gents, let's just pause for a moment. What have I done? Let's just go back to step 1. I became qualified. I introduced 3 people that became qualified. I became ETT 100. Now I help 3 people become ETT 100. Congratulations. Now I help 2 people out of the 3 become ETT 250, and 1 other person just remains as ETT 100. I didn't even touch that leg there. Now I become an ETL 500. Now, how do I go to the next level? Remember, I'm ETL 500 because here's one thing I believe. I believe something you've done, you can teach it. Something you've not done is very, very hard to teach it, hence why you have an upline and mentors and so on. Now, think about this. You've done ETL 500 now. Now, here's how you get to the next level. Teach 2 other people how to go ETL 500. Now, look, They do that, they become ETL 500, and you help that third person now go from ETT 100 to ETT 250. Here's what will now happen. Your total qualifying group business volume is now £5,000. And now that is 5,000. Now that you got 5,000 in group business volume, you now become an ETL 1000 where you're making £1,000 a month in residual income. Ladies and gents, can you just see how simple it is to explain? It doesn't need science. It doesn't need percentages. It doesn't need level 1, level 2. No, all it needs is simple. You go ETT 100, teach 3 people to do the same thing. You go ETT 250, teach other people to do the same thing. How do you go to ETL 1000? Help 2 people become ETL 500 and help another person become ETT 250. Anywhere in those 3 legs that you have. When we start next rise, you have 3 legs. Anywhere in those legs, as long as one person hits those ranks, you now have the total group business volume, which is a requirement. Now, what is the next goal? The next goal is for you to become TC 3000. How do you do this? Well, help 3 people. Now, help your 3 people anywhere in those teams. Help 3 people emerge as leaders and help them become ETL 1000. You help them make money. Guess what? You make more money and you now become a TC 3000 where you make £3,000 a month in residual income. We had a new TC 3000 just recently, Gunjan Hazarika, huge congratulations to you, buddy. I know this is just the beginning for you, but he recently achieved TC 3000. How do you do it? Help other people do exactly what you did. Now, how do you go to TC 5000? Well, very, very simple. Can you see how you got 3 ETLs? Well, help more people in those 3 legs now also become ETL 1000. So let me give you an example. If you help 2 people in one leg become ETL 1000, 2 people in another leg become ETL 1000, and that third leg you have, just keep it as it is, no problem. Here's what will now happen. You would now become a TC 5000 because you now have 25,000 in group business volume. Now, I can keep going. Now, can you see what I've done? I'm just repeating the previous step or the previous steps. Achieve it, help other people achieve it. Achieve it, help other people achieve it. Achieve it, help other people achieve it. And the beauty about our compensation plan, it doesn't matter how many people have achieved your level of success or even if they out-earn you, your success is guaranteed and we will always pay you in the position that you're in. Now that is game-changing because most compensation plans out there, when someone achieves the same rank as you, you get a payment cut. Not in Nexarise, ladies and gents. In Nexarise, you can get paid unlimited income. It doesn't matter. It's completely dependent on you. Now, look, let's continue. Let's go to Regional Director 10. Just help more people become ETL 1000. So let me give you a scenario. In leg 1, or any leg, help 4 people become ETL 1000. In another leg, help 4 people become ETL 1000. In another leg, help 2 people become ETL 1000. That literally is the remedy of Regional Director 10. If you aren't Regional Director 10, it just means that you got to help more people become ETL 1000. Or you might have a leg or 2 that has more ETL 1000s. Well, just help your other organizations now become ETL 1000s. If you do that, you're Regional Director 10. Listen to me carefully, ladies and gents. And I really want you to understand this. Listen, in my previous company, my group business volume, and this is why we know this industry when we design this compensation plan. And I promise you, I'm not just saying this out of, I'm not just saying this because I have nothing better to say, but this is the reality. My group business volume on a monthly basis, just the increase was more than 50,000 on a monthly basis. It used to grow every single month. Every month it would grow by 40, 50, 60,000 a month. There was a month that it grew by 120,000 just in group business volume. And I wish I had this compensation plan. If I did, honestly, it would have been just something else. And that's the beauty of the Nexarise system. But now the next level now after Regional Director 10 is to go to Regional Vice President 20. Well, how do you do this? Help 2 people become Regional Director 10 in any of your 2 legs, anywhere levels down. Help 1 person go to TC 5000. Now that will actually overqualify you. It actually will because you actually have more volume. However, you would reach the requirement to become a Regional Vice President 20 and you'll be earning £20,000 on a monthly basis in residual income. You see, yesterday I was speaking to one of our leaders who's a team coordinator 5000. And, they got paid rank advancement bonuses 5,000 this month, and also their 5,000 residual. They made 10,000 as as an income. And I was just asking him, how you feeling? Because I know you haven't had this feeling in a long time. And he was just telling me, he's like, I'm so, so grateful because, like Nexarise allowed me to dream again. And he said, had it not been for Nexarise, I really wouldn't know what to do. And they're so encouraged and they're so excited about going to regional director 10 and going to regional vice president 20. And here's what I said to him. I said to him, listen, until you start making, and I'll say this openly, when you start making £20,000 a month in residual income in network marketing, that's when I can officially say to you, welcome to wealth. Welcome to wealth. That is when I can officially say that. When you start making 20,000 a month, and believe me, I've been there, I've done that, and I've seen it. And that's when the trajectory of my entire life completely changed, when I started making 20,000 a month in this industry. Believe me, everything just completely different. Your lifestyle, everything. My biggest motivation for me, there was a time, there's times that you have that becomes a wake-up call for you. And for me, really, was after I was working in Marks and Spencer's for 8 years. And I went from working 8 years in Marks and Spencer's, making around 2,000 at best on a monthly basis. And in this industry, 1 year of working hard in this industry, I was in a position where I was making 30 to 40,000 on a monthly basis without fail. And in that year, it went up to 60,000 a month. And believe me, when that happened, everything around me started changing. So ladies and gents, you really don't realize how powerful this opportunity can be until you get to these kind of ranks. Now, here's the beauty. You're helping other people along the way. Imagine just a day where your team is winning with you and you're winning as well. And you have other people, earning income, supporting their favorite charities, helping their family out, raising a family. And because of a result of a decision you made and because of your mentorship, that's when it really becomes priceless. And it never, ever from that moment will be because of the money. But that's when you really find your purpose and you fall in love with the idea of helping other people. Now, how do you go from regional vice president 20 to regional vice president 50? Well, again, help 2 other people anywhere in your organization become regional vice president 20 and help 1 other person become a regional director 10. Now, if you take a look at regional director 10, even though regional director 10 is only 50,000 in group business volume, the reality is I know for a fact no one will become regional director 10 with 50,000 volume. Every regional director 10 that becomes a regional director 10, I guarantee you they'll have well over 55,000 pounds in group business volume. They'll have well over the 50. I think they'll surpass 55. I think they'll probably touch 60,000 in group business volume. Well, guess what? That will now qualify for regional vice president 50. And how do you now go to regional vice president 100? Help any of those other people in your organization. Help 2 other people become regional vice president 50. Help another person become regional vice president 20. Guess what? You now become a regional vice president 100. And our compensation plan, it doesn't stop there. You see, ladies and gents, we also have senior vice president 200, senior vice president 500, and senior vice president crown, which is the highest rank in the Nexarise compensation plan. You see, here's one thing I just want everyone to do for a minute. And and it's great to see that we've got hundreds of ETT 100s on this evening's line. And here's what I want all the leaders, if you can, to do this for me right now. I want all of you really just close your eyes for a minute. Listen, I don't care if you're in the kitchen. I don't care if you're taking notes and you're somewhere quiet, and I hope most of you are. But here's what I want you to do. Just close your eyes for a minute for me. Just close your eyes and just listen to these following words. Just close your eyes, please. I want you to imagine that this pandemic is behind us. And now we can do live events. And we grow crazy momentum, and Nexarise doubles and quadruples in numbers. And we open up many, many more countries like we are going to do in 2021. I want you to now imagine that we're at a convention. We're at our first opening convention. And in that convention, there are, let's say, 5,000 to 10,000 people in attendance. And now let's say, you see trainings from many, many leaders and you're inspired over the weekend and you've seen leaders from all around the world of Nexarise having success, and you're at this convention and you're sitting down. And now it's time for us to promote the newly promoted leaders to these esteemed positions. And we now got to promote regional director 10s, and we got to promote regional vice president 20s and regional vice president 50s and 100s and senior vice presidents and so on. And now imagine you have your whole team there with you. you've got your family with you, and you're one of the people that are being called out on that weekend, on that stage. Open your eyes for a minute now. Let me tell you something. That is possible. I really mean it when I say that is possible for you. But here's the main thing. Remember what I opened up this session with? I said, don't be a victim of your circumstances. Don't just maintain what you have, but it's about advancing what you have. How can you take your business to that next level? Let me tell you something. Do you know by the time this whole thing is behind us, you can be 3 ranks higher than where you currently are? I believe this with everything in me. And as I go through this training, it's going to even make more sense as to how you can do this. But here's what you have to do, ladies and gents. You have to believe that this could be you. And I honestly believe every single one of you can do this. Remember, Nexarize decides what you get paid. So we decide the compensation plan and the incomes we pay at every position, but you decide how much you want to make. You decide how much of that compensation plan you want to make. Listen, you can say, I want to make 10,000 a month. I want to make 20,000 a month. I want to go to 50. I want to go to 100. I want to go to 200. I want to go to 500. I want to go to 1 million. It's completely up to you. We set the compensation plan, but you can decide how much of that compensation plan that you want to earn. You see, ladies and gents, here's one thing, something that was once told to me, because leaders lead. Leaders lead by example, and not just when things are going good, but also when things are going bad. And here's the question that you have to ask yourself. And we've seen some leaders, honestly, we have an ETL 1000 plus group, and we communicate with these leaders and so on. And some of the activity that's been on this ETL 1000 groups, we've seen the leaders that are really building. We've seen their numbers really go through the roof during this pandemic. They're taking action on a daily basis, working hard, showing the opportunity to other people. And here's one thing that happens when you are taking charge of your Nexarize business. Here's what happens. You see, when your team is not doing what you tell them to do, don't pull out a magnifying glass and start analyzing what they're all doing. But you know what? Pull out a mirror. Pull out a mirror and look and really say to yourself, is my team doing what I'm doing? And listen, if you don't have momentum right now, whether you're ET 100, because I know most of you, some of you on tonight's line, some of you things are going great. And I know some of you things aren't going great. And I know some of you that your business is completely dying and customers are canceling and people are quitting and everyone's rejecting you. Listen, I get that. Believe me, I've been there. I've seen times when my business was going well, and I've seen times when my business was going down. But you know one thing I did in both scenarios? I never, ever stopped to look at what my team was doing. I always focused on leading the charge, setting the example, got back into the woods, rolled up my sleeves, and I got back in the game. Started recruiting new people myself. And I started working on myself, bettering myself, inspiring myself, and really taking things to the next level. And I think Asad also shared this with you. So don't pull out a magnifying glass, but pull out a mirror. Thank you, everyone. Have a great remainder evening. God bless you all.